everybody, this is Pam in Chicago, and I'm with my friend Alexandra Levit, who writes for the Wall Street Journal and has also authored a number of books herself. And I know that a lot of you are interested in getting tips about how to approach journalists, if you're maybe an author or you're a blogger and you want to get your ideas known. And so, Alexandra, I wanted to ask you, what are tips that you have for people that want to approach journalists, either things to do or things not to do?
Well, hello Escape from Cubicle Nation readers. This is Alexandra Levit from Chicago, and I'm thrilled to be meeting Pam in person for the first time. And I love this question of what you should do and what you should not do when pitching the media. And personally, from my own perspective, I would say that you want to research what that reporter has covered in the past and create a pitch that is tailored to their particular column or area of interest. So for example, my column is about reinvention and personal career transformation. So you want to pitch something that's related to that. Don't pitch something outside the scope. For example, I got a pitch today about credit card fraud, which I guess that's roughly in the area of business and careers, but it has nothing to do with career change, so it wouldn't be appropriate to me. Also, make sure you've read their columns or pieces recently and aren't pitching the exact same thing. So for example, a couple of months ago, I covered women who are re-entering the workforce after having children and are looking to change their careers. And inevitably I'll get a slew of emails, oh, would you want to profile this woman? Would you want to profile that woman? It's like, well, I just talked about that, so I'm not going to do another article on a woman who has re-entered the workforce after having children so soon. So you want to think of a topic that's complementary but not the exact same thing. You do want to follow up, and this is something before I became a journalist, when I was just a book author, I think I used to get a little scared of contacting a reporter multiple times. But the fact is, I get hundreds of emails every week that are pitches, and I don't always get a chance to respond or even read all of them. I think one follow-up is appropriate, especially if I've expressed interest, if I've said, oh, send me some statistics on that, or I would love to talk to your client about this. You definitely do want to follow up and say, hey, Alexandra, you said a few weeks ago that you might want to connect with me. What do you think about doing it this week? I would be glad to have the reminder from you. And even if you sent something and I didn't respond to you, I think one follow-up is appropriate. If I haven't gotten back to you after 2 contacts, though, you do want to let it go and come up with something else. In terms of Help a Reporter Out, I absolutely love that service. Be subscribing to Peter Shankman's Help a Reporter Out if you aren't already. I post things on there all the time, and that's a great way to get involved with me because I'm looking for something very specific, and if you can offer it and have a unique twist to the story that'll make it even more interesting, I'm going to get back to you right away for sure. And the last thing I would suggest, tips and trends. Particularly for my blog, Water Cooler Wisdom, I am always looking for statistics, research studies that you've recently put out, trends, lists of the top 5 things that people need to do to change their career today in a recession. Those things I love to have because I can just grab them, cite your client, and put them right up. Or cite you if you're the entrepreneur who has the ideas. So those are just a couple of tips I'd recommend for interacting with the media. Just make sure you know that person's work and that you are willing to engage with them. And I guess the last thing I would say is follow up. If the reporter requests something from you and is on a deadline, make sure you get him or her the information that she's requested as quickly as possible, because sometimes we really do need it fast and in a hurry. So thanks so much.
Those are fantastic tips. I totally appreciate that. And where can people find you?
Please find me at www.alexandralevit.com.
Great. Well, nice to see you in person. Thanks for the tips.
Thanks, Pam.
So this is Alexandra again, and after we were talking about the tips, there was something that came out that was really important. So what was that last tip you had for connecting with reporters?
Okay, so the last tip would be to develop a relationship with the reporter that goes beyond just pitching them a story. All of us are working on other projects. We have other things going on. For example, I publish books, I do speaking engagements. So think of ways that you can help them out that go beyond the story and develop a relationship over time, so you're the person who naturally comes to mind when they've got a particular story idea, or even better, perhaps when you have something going on that they can help you promote, they naturally think to want to help you back.
That's great, and I think that goes with so many different business relationships where it's not just going to somebody directly for what you want, but it's really thinking about what do they want, what's really useful to them. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.